Alright, let's get started. The cutting board consists of 3 different kinds of wood. A dark one, which is the walnut, a light one, which is the beech, and something in between that is the oak. So the next step right now is make some rough cuts so I can put them through my jointer and afterwards my planer. Okay, maybe not that rough. I'll do it on the bandsaw instead. Alright, let's start with the beech. And now for the oak. And now for the walnut. Now I ran all the boards through my planer down to the finished measurement, which is 50 by 20.8 millimeters. Now why 20.8 millimeters? Well, there are 3 things that are very important when you build this cutting board, and the 20.8 millimeters are the first one. Now the 20.8 millimeters are a bit of an odd number, but it's very important so we can get the exact same length on all the 6 sides all the way around. But let's move on to the 2 30-degree cuts on the circular saw. Alright, all the pieces have been cut on a 30-degree angle and we are now ready for the glue up. But I just want to point out that the distance here on the 48 millimeters is extremely important, or else it will simply mess up our pattern. Alright, I need 3 pieces of light and dark. I need 3 pieces of light and medium. And finally, I need 3 pieces of medium and dark. Now I use clamps for this glue up, but you can easily use tape or whatever you're comfortable with. Now the only thing that you need to pay attention to is these 2 edges right here. They have to be in line 100%. If they start to move from each other, the pattern will be ruined. Now I've got these clamps that I have a small edge in here and they fit perfectly on this. And this will help me line them up perfectly. Here we go. Perfect. Now I'll put one in the center as well. There we go. All the pieces have been glued and now I'm ready for the cross cuts. Now the cross cuts are going to be 42 millimeters thick, which is around 1 inch and 2/3 of an inch. So all I gotta do now is cut 32 pieces of each of these. Alright, all of them have been cut. Wow, this is going to be a monster of a cutting board. Now why am I putting tape on? Well, this is to protect the edge so I don't get any tear outs. And it works pretty good. I've got all the pieces lined up right here, perfect for the pattern, but it's a monster of a glue up. Now what I'm afraid of with this big glue up is the glue will actually start to set before I'm done. I need to come up with some sort of system that would help me once I start the gluing. Just one little mistake and the pattern is ruined. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually numbered every single piece from 1 all the way to 95. And I've made a horizontal line on each row, so I know that this line needs to be horizontal in all the pieces. So it will be quick for me to see if I've made a mistake. Now I really hope by doing this that it will prevent me from doing any mistakes. Decided to make a small test before the big glue up. I am ready for the final glue up, so do have everything ready before you start. Glue, clamps, whatever you need, because we've got 90 plus pieces and we need to hurry up before the glue starts to set. I am a bit nervous about this glue up and I really hope I don't mess it up. So let's start. I do want to add, I've got a perfect 90-degree angle here, and these two are the ones that I'm going to put my clamps on. The glue up is done, and I've got some good news and some bad news. Well, the good news is that I didn't turn any of the pieces the wrong way, so that's good. The bad news is that I have a few gaps here and there that I need to repair. Whoa, stop. You did mess up, but at this point, you just haven't realized it yet. And you are right. It wasn't during the gluing that you messed up, it was before. So take a look at the bottom part of this picture right here. At the last row, there you'll find the mistake. I was so excited about the glue up that I didn't check the pattern before I started. So let that be a lesson to you all. Well, the mistake can easily be fixed. I just need to cut the bottom part off right here and then we're good to go. Well, back to the video. And at this point, the guy we're going back to doesn't realize or hasn't realized that he's made the mistake. So he still thinks he's done a fantastic job, but we know better. And I'll see you at the end of the video. Next up is to flatten the piece, and I'll run it through my planer. And I've glued on a sacrifice piece so the ends doesn't split. I've cut the bottom part of the cutting board on an angle. I've done that all the way around. This is the same profile I do on all my cutting boards. Before the sanding and the surface treatment, I want to round off all the edges, and I'm using my brand new Festool router, and it's got this new light feature, which is pretty cool. And no, I'm not sponsored in any way, but let's get to it. I'm not going to show you all the sanding. Let's just move on to my favorite part, the oil. And then I let it dry for a day or two before I apply the beeswax. The oil treatment is done, and next up is the beeswax. Now the cutting board is finally finished, and even though I made a small mistake with the pattern and had to cut off 2 centimeters at the bottom, I still think it turned out pretty good. And if you made it this far in the video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. Now, see you in the next video.